And we're back. Hopefully my voice doesn't like fucking die. And there goes my ad revenue from this video because I swear too early, but it doesn't matter. I don't get ad revenue anyways. Mr. Cantabella. I would like to apologize for putting too much pressure on your daughter. Only your words can bring her back from the brink of madness. Let her hear the truth from her own father. All according to your plan, Layton. You've driven a spell into a corner in order to push me to the wall. I had no other choice. Isabella, please listen to me. You haven't done anything wrong. You didn't cause that accident. You have suffered so much, thinking that you were Brazella. I must take the blame for that. You, Mr. Cantabella? I sacrificed everything to make up for what I've done. But all I've managed to do is inflict more pain upon others. Is that not so, Darklaw? Now that you're willing to talk, Mr. Cantabella, would you mind telling us your story, yours, as well as Isabela's, and Miss Darklaw's? Very well. The story, too, began when I was a young lad, when Newton and I were still youths, full of dreams and hope. As you already know, we discovered the underground ruins, and deep within them lay that accursed bell. The Bell of Ruin. At the time, we still lacked the knowledge to decipher any of the writings we found there. This bell is magnificent. It's found to make the most beautiful sound. I have an idea. Why don't we make this bell the symbol of our town? How do you propose to do that? Let's build a bell tower for it. Then we can ring it on special occasions. That's not a bad idea. Then it's settled. When we grow up, let's do it. Okay? Just don't forget about it. The two of us chose different paths in life. I studied management in London, while Newton devoted himself to the study of natural sciences. And then, you made a fortune following the invention of a new anesthetic. We both got married around that time, and each of us had a daughter. You mean Isabella was born shortly after your company gained funding? That's great. We eventually returned to our hometown and set about realizing our childhood dream. Having built the bell tower in the middle of the town square, we retrieved the bell itself from the underground ruins. We aspired to make it a symbol of prosperity for this unindustrialized town. The bell was to be officially displayed during the annual fire festival. It would be rung in the morning, following the night of celebration. Pardon the interruption, but at the time, were you aware of the meaning behind the bell's name? Obviously, we were not. Thinking back to my ignorance at the time, a chill now runs down my spine. Newton and I went to the bell tower that day before the festival. Only one more day to go. We've waited a long time for this. That we have. This town will no longer be the same after tomorrow. The bell weighed so much that ringing it was not easy. We tackled that problem by constructing a special mechanism, which we installed in the belfry.
Daddy, I want to hear the bell. Can I make it ring? Daddy, please, let me ring it.
Spella, who was there with us, was utterly enchanted by the bell. She wasn't a bad child, but she was very stubborn and would rarely listen to me when she wanted something. I told her a story to try and convince her to leave the bell alone.
Isabella, listen carefully. You mustn't ring this bell.
Man, even in his like 30s or 40s or 20s, whatever this is, he sounds like a super old man.
But why? Why can't I, Daddy?
You know about Brazella, the witch?
Uh-huh. She's an evil fire witch who used uses magic to hurt people.
If you ring the spell, Bezella will come out and possess you.
Is the spell also a closet? Is Bezella is Bezella a lesbian? Hashtag Bezella lesbian fandom.
Possess me? You mean I'll turn into Bezella?
That's right, Espella. When Bezella possesses someone, she uses them to do terrible things. That's why you must never ring the spell, sweetheart.
I understand, Daddy.
There's a good girl.
The legend of Bezella has been passed down around these parts for centuries. Or probably rituals from at least the tribes that populated this area in the past. What I told Isabella was just a silly story that I invented for the occasion. It was only meant to stop her from ringing the bell. I could not imagine that would have such far-reaching consequences. It's all coming back to me now. I remember that day. On the day of the fire festival, just around the time when the preparations ended and everything was about to begin, I sneaked out of our house. I took Mom's pendant with me. Your mother's pendant? Do you mean this one? Yes, it belonged to my mom. We needed to limit access to the bell, so we made the two keys. We decided to make them into pendants, and each gave one to our respective wives. Both are needed in order to access the belfry. I saw you and Mr. Belduke use them, so I told Eve the meaning of the bell tower.
Daddy says Bezella will come out if I ring the bell, but if I do it just a little... I want to try it while the festival is going on. I hope Eve doesn't forget her mum's pendant.
So it's just as I thought, Miss Darklaw. You are Mr. Belduke's daughter. Well done, Inquisitor. I was almost afraid you had failed to make that connection. Belduke had 2 daughters? Whoa! Ornor, this is too much for the day. You probably didn't say that, because I didn't read it fast enough. Order the court, Lady Darklaw. You mean to say you're still Belduke's daughter? Isn't Jean still alive? They never sacrificed her to the flames, so she's still in jail. Yes, my real name is Eve Belduke. I'm the alchemist's daughter. This is unbelievable! I also sneaked out of my house that evening, clutching my mother's pendant in my hand. I did just as you asked me to, did I not, Isfella?
Isabella, my mum's going to be so angry if she notices I took the pendant. Don't worry so much. I just really want to ring that bell. I want to hear it.
I rang the bell against my father's warning, and so Bezella possessed me. Because of me, the town and everyone in it. They're all gone. No, it's not your fault. Stop blaming yourself. Supposedly, the former inhabitants of this area also used to fall unconscious upon the sound of that bell. Perhaps they experienced a similar nightmare. It was I who brought the bell of ruin to this town. The one who blamed for this calamity is not some witch, it's me. I brought destruction upon this town. I am Bezella. Isabella, you're gonna drive your dad crazy if you keep repeating that. Seeing like this is giving me a strong feeling of deja vu. Oh no, they know French! We have to leave! Eve, how can he be so evil? Are you happy now? I'm afraid we're in this dark as regards Miss Darklaw's sense of deja vu. circumstances you kill those people, and then your dad created some crazy bullshit instead of just giving her a sandwich. Be like, sorry, you died. Only 4 people survived the fire. Only 4. Estelle and Eve, who were in the belfry, and only 2 residents who did not participate in the festival, Newton and I. And where were you at the time, if you'll permit my asking? We were investigating those fateful ruins. That's why we didn't notice anything until it was too late. It was getting near the time at which we planned to ring the bell, so we headed towards the town. Then we saw it. The town had been burnt to ashes, the air shimmering from the heat. That's too awful for words. We searched for survivors, sick with anxiety. Eventually, we found our daughters in the bell tower. Espella was unresponsive, like a doll. Eve was crying at her side. Our relief at having found them vied with terror caused by the disaster. The worst night of my life ended, pierced with the first rays of sunshine. But then, it seemed Espella was already lost to us. We had lost her to Bezella. She wouldn't speak, eat, or even leave her room. She thought she was Bezella and that she had destroyed the town. I couldn't get that out of her head. What she saw from the bell tower must have been so terrifying. But it wasn't shock from what she had seen. My own words had put her in that state. Had I only not told her that stupid story. We had been grasping at straws, trying to find a way to save Espella's mind. But whatever we did, her eyes would remain impassive and empty. In the end, I came upon a certain idea that offers a glimpse of hope. What was it? The suspense! This is too much for my aging heart. I believe I may know what it was. It was the only way to get through to that little Espella. Inquisition, what are you talking about? What was Mr. Canterbury's idea for saving his daughter from insanity?
Have a look.
This picture book. We discovered this in Espella's room. And that is... It's a handmade picture book. The illustrations and handwriting are truly exquisite. That's the first story I wrote. I made it for Espella after that dreadful fire. Oh, the storyteller's first story. It was but a simple children's story. The plot was very straightforward. The townsfolk joined forces to banish the evil witches who observed Bezella.
Espella, do you understand now? You aren't Bezella. Bezella is somewhere out there, sending out other witches to do bad things to the people of our town.
Witches, magic, the town perishing in flames. Espella was mentally broken, and I couldn't get through to her any other way. I talked to her as if magic and witches were real, avoiding any mention of that fire. I feel like this could all been solved if he took her to like a psychologist.
Daddy. A witch is real.
Espella poked me for the first time in so many days. I was beyond myself with joy and replied without thinking.
Oh, yes, they are. They're hiding in the town, among the people.
But it's just a fairy tale.
Men will do literally anything not to go to the therapist, even sacrificing their daughter's mental acuity. I was desperate. I feared she would close herself off to me again. Now, in hindsight, I see what an utter fool I was. I made an irreversible mistake, yet again.
No, it's not. Everything your daddy writes comes true.
Oops. Poor guy. Poor Espella.
The bad witches will get their comeuppance. I will write a story about it.
And so, I wrote another story for my daughter, a story about mischievous witches getting caught. This time I had the story acted out in front of Isabella. You heard it acted out? Back then, I wasn't the only one tormenting myself for the mental state of my daughter. Newton was going through hell too. His own daughter had been badly scarred by the event. Isn't that right, Eve? My father and I repaired a building that survived the fire and continued to live in this town. Isabella wasn't even able to leave her room. We couldn't leave her behind when she needed all the help she could get. Mr. Cantabella showed us this book one day. Then, he made an unusual request from us.
I'd like to make this story real. Would you be willing to help me do so?
To our surprise, he was entirely serious. Seeing that, we gladly offered our help. A story about evil-doing witches getting caught and punished. Bezella, the source of them all.
Were you paying attention, Isabella? Witches got what they deserved, and peace has been restored to the town.
Isabella smiled at the end, then she whispered to herself.
It wasn't me.
When I saw her smile, I felt as if something broke inside me. I couldn't afford to let her be sad again. Maybe if Bezella were to exist in this town, Isabella would stop thinking she herself harbored the Great Witch. I continued writing stories about witches. Even I would act them out for Isabella. And gradually, the number of characters in my stories increased. That was, of course, largely due to the ongoing reconstruction of the town. How much reconstruction? It wasn't anything on a big scale. I simply paid people to move in and act out their roles. But I began to think I would need more than that. The story had to be real. To make a lie seem true, you resorted to even more lies. Yes, I was certain that was the only way. How did I do so? I remembered about Newton's research. He was working on a certain medicine. It was a kind of tranquilizer made from local plants that he was testing at the time. But it was difficult to put into practical use. The substance had a danger of causing unconsciousness and hypnosis. I can see how that could be abused to cause much harm, supposing it fell into the wrong hands. Yeah, good thing it didn't. At the same time, it was just what I needed for my ambitious project. I contacted the government. And that was the beginning of what came to be known as Project Labyrinthia. A town with human test subjects, all in a state of long-term hypnosis. You devised that plan solely for the sake of your daughter. Yes, we acquired the land which had been laid to waste by the fire. The new town was slowly becoming populated. Gradually, the rules of Labyrinthia were established. It was to be a town where magic and witches were reality to the residents. All of this was possible thanks to the drug. The test subjects were exposed to it through the ink used to pen the story, right? That's right. It was the dangerous drug developed by Newton. About 10 years have passed since then. Even now, the town continues to change. Project Labyrinthia. And all this was done for one girl. Isabella was only able to be herself when she lived within my story. Oh, the irony of it. Only within a world in which Bezella was real could Isabella's tragic memories be sealed. All this while, Eve was assisting me. I was the first shade. As soon as the story began, I disappeared from the scene. If a spell is to see some magic, then someone had to don this robe.
That's the robe of invisibility.
I gave Espella new memories so that she could live in this town with everyone else. I also sealed the memory of her friend, Eve. What? My existence was too strongly connected to her memory of the fire. Afterwards, I returned as Darklaw, a stranger to Espella. But even if you're doing this for spell's sake, that's just going too far. I made that choice. I do not regret the past 10 years. Meanwhile, my father was supporting Labyrinthia from behind the scenes in his own way.
Do you mean his contributions as an alchemist?
My father's knowledge of medicine was indispensable for this town to function. The hallucinogenic ink was my father's work as well.
So it was. Newton and Eve sacrificed more than anyone else for the sake of Espella in this town.
I will be forever indebted to them. We wanted to save Espella, just like you. But then, there's still something I don't understand. Why were you trying to destroy this fake world? In the end, you chose to betray Espella and Mr. Cantabella. Oh, but I told you already, have I not?
It was your revenge against Mr. Catabella for choosing to end the story, correct?
I wonder whether that was the true reason. Professor? Would Miss Belduke really betray them merely because she did not want the story to end? I dare say there was another, considerably more important reason. She had another reason. No need to frown in dismay, Mr. Wright. Please leave this to me.
Well then, let's hear what the Inquisition has to say. What other reason led the witness to betray Mr. Cantabella?
Have a look.
This letter was Miss Belduke's real motive.
What is this? I think I've seen it before.
That's the letter written by Mr. Belduke from Mr. Cantabella. It's also Mr. Belduke's suicide note. My dear friend, hope you can forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. Something was tormenting Mr. Belduke. It became too much for him to bear and drove him to suicide. These past 10 years, I thought Father was glad to be helping Cantabella. But little did I know, he was suffering terrible anguish all that time. Cantabella twisted the lives of so many people for the sake of his daughter. Was the story not but a glorified lie, stripping so many of what little happiness they had? All those years, Father was racked by a crushing sense of guilt. His agony culminated in an incident of 3 months ago. Mr. Belduke's death. How did no one, run into that thing? It just shows up out of nowhere? I'm pretty sure it was there before. How did no one, slam right into it by accident? Before Labyrinthia was created, certain things had been concealed in order to seal Espel's memories. Had she seen them, she would have remembered. They were simply too dangerous to her. One of them was me. Espel's friend Eve had to be reborn as a shade and disappeared to the forest. The next thing was the bell tower. I see, had she seen it, it would have been certain to stir up those traumatic memories. memories of the legendary fire. The only way to prevent that was to erase the bell tower from Labyrinthia,
But how could you do that?
using the same method as with this robe. The robe of invisibility. In short, we cover up the bell tower with a huge robe. Although it wasn't as easy as it sounds. In other words, the bell tower had been there all this time. Only the townspeople couldn't see it. Is that correct? Indeed.
I don't know what to say.
At any rate, the situation changed due to that lightning strike 3 months ago, did it not? It was a most unfortunate accident. The lightning set the bell tower's cover on fire. That cover was quickly consumed by flames, revealing that abominable bell tower. The beginning of all this, the Bell of Ruin, appeared before us. 'Twas mockery of our efforts.
That tower emerging from the flames must have seemed like a sign of divine anger to Mr. Belduke. A sign that no matter how you attempt to conceal your sins, the truth will eventually float up to the surface.
Having realized this, Father chose death.
He was such a kind-hearted man. I didn't have an inkling of what he had been going through. To him, the participation of Labyrinthia's people within this project was not voluntary. Even though they had themselves signed the contract, I believe he felt those people were being deceived.
Father took his life because of you, Cantabella. Now you know why I did what I did. I lost my father 3 months ago. That day, my revenge began.
Your revenge?
The first step of my plan was to rewrite the story.
What did you say?
As president of Labralem Inc., you had to spend most of your time in London. Over the past few years, you were coming to Labyrinthia only for the parades. So naturally, I knew you would never notice if the story were slightly changed.
That explains it. I couldn't help thinking there's something strange going on. Mr. Cantabella is Isabel's father, after all.
He wouldn't have made Isabella a witch in his story.
Isabella was a witch? When did that happen?
Could you have known, after all? Let me figure on the details. Isabella has already been tried once within the witch's court.
Impossible. Why? How could you? You knew the risk that would carry.
Look at you. What a fine author of that grand story you are. You left all the work in Labyrinthia to me. Meanwhile, you were making millions for yourself in London. What a pathetic excuse for a father. You didn't even notice that your precious little Spella was in such danger.
Miss Belduke, why did you do that to Isabella?
Do you even need to ask? I did it to unlock her memories. You mean, when the legendary fire took place, Isabella was so traumatized that she closed herself off to the world. We were just little girls then. That tragic accident was too much for us to handle. This fictitious town was created as a facade to keep the truth away from Isabella. But the weight of all these lies led my father to his suicide. Despite that, the person responsible for all this carried on as if nothing had happened. I couldn't forgive him. As Belduke's bereaved daughter, I had to have my revenge against both Cantabellas. Judge, this is the whole truth. Now you know the true identity of Isabella.
Objection.
Mr. Cantabella is losing his mind over here. You say this is the whole truth, but is that really the case?
Professor, What are you going on about now?
We have been provided with a clear picture of what happened to Spella so long ago. Nevertheless, we haven't heard your testimony.
Don't be ridiculous.
This will be the last testimony in this trial. Tell us about the night of the legendary fire. I request that you tell us your story.
Who do you think you are, Inquisitor?
I am merely one of the supporting characters within this tale. However, I am very much interested in the truth. This has been a very long trial, of which this shall be the last interrogation. The court demands that the single other witness of the legendary fire provide us with her testimony.
Very well. There's only one truth. Nothing can change that. Spella wanted to ring the bell no matter what, so we went up to the belfry. The festival celebrations had already started. The mechanism for ringing the bell was at a height even we could reach. The next thing I remember is coming to and running to Spella's side. I was shaking her until she finally opened her eyes. That next moment, we saw that nightmare's view. All strength abandoned us, and we didn't know what to do. That was when we were found by my father and Mr. Cantabella.
The bell could only be rung with a special mechanism.
That's right. It was made in such a way that even a child could use it. It was probably constructed by my father. I suppose he wanted to make it possible for anyone to ring that bell. In light of the events that followed, this was clearly a foolish decision. A mechanism for ringing the bell. I noticed something like that on a pillar when we went to the belfry earlier. I better make a note of it in the court record.
Oh dear, fate can surely be cruel.
I have to agree. If only we had not discovered those ruins and brought that bell to our town, or if we could have deciphered those ancient writings a little earlier. Moreover, if only the groundwater in this area didn't cause that strange condition.
Unfortunately, Mr. Cantabella, the tragedy occurred. All that remains for us to do is to seek out the truth. Not for the sake of vengeance, but for the sake of the future. Mr. Wright.
Yeah?
You have been fighting fiercely to uncover the truth.
This is the final interrogation. I trust you know what to do. Leave it to me. To be honest, I have no idea what lies ahead. But whatever it is, there's no question. We need to get to the bottom of it. There's gotta be a light at the end of this tunnel.
Hold it!
You needed both pendants to access the belfry, correct? Espel asked me to bring my mother's pendant, so I did.
That wasn't the only requirement, however. You also needed to solve a puzzle in order to use the contraption.
I've always been a master puzzle solver. For me, it was child's play, literally. She solved it when she was a little girl. What's your excuse, Nick? Hey, I have different talents. Espella and Eve were best friends at the time. Eve is 2 years older than Espella. She used to be like a big sister to her.
So the two of you went to the belfry. What happened next?
Hold it!
So even a little girl could ring the bell? Yes, easily. I intended to make it so the bell could only be rung on special occasions. That's exactly why I put that puzzle in place to restrict access.
You also divided the key to the belfry into two components as an extra precaution.
I was careful, but the same cannot be said of Newton, who constructed the mechanism as a whole. He presumably wished to make it so that even our young daughters could use it, meaning strength was not a requirement.
And that became his undoing.
By the way, how old were the girls at the time?
Espella was 6, and Eve was 8. I see. That mechanism was the last thing I saw before falling unconscious. And then...
Hold it!
Do you mean that you fell unconscious after the bell struck? Yes, I believe so. Our peculiar condition causes an instant reaction. The brain probably doesn't even have the time to register the sound before consciousness is lost. It's almost as if a slice of time had been stolen from my life. When I opened my eyes, I was lying on the floor. I lifted my head and saw Espella lying nearby. I sprang to my feet and ran to her side. And what about the situation in town at the time? I was preoccupied with Espella, so I didn't notice it to begin with. At that time, was Espella still conscious? Yes. I panicked a little and took her in my arms, hoping she'd wake up.
Hold it!
So it was you who woke Espella up, witness? Yes, it was me. She was out cold, curled up on the floor until I shook her awake. As soon as she came to, she turned to look at the town, to that nightmarish view stretching out before us. When you say nightmarish view, I cannot find no other words to describe it. We froze in terror at the sight. It took us a while to notice that smoke was creeping up the bell tower too. Our eyes filled up with tears and we couldn't stop crying, perhaps because of the smoke. The town seemed like a fire dragon's playground. I was trembling with terror unlike anything I've known before. Dear me, merely imagining it now raises the hairs on my beard.
Hold it!
You didn't leave the belfry until their arrival? Of course not. We were paralyzed with fear. It was an event so traumatizing it still haunts us. Espella fainted again when she saw the fire dragon. I was crying and wailing until our fathers found us. We went to the bell tower as it was a good vantage point. We weren't expecting to find our daughters there. Of course, neither suspected at that point the disaster had been caused by the Bell of Ruin. Eve was in tears, sobbing violently. As for Espella, she was in a daze. Her face frozen in an expression of disbelief. She didn't know what was happening around her. I cannot say with certainty as my memories are a little vague, but I think I was trying to protect her. We'll come back around to that. Maybe not. Perhaps it's just my imagination. At any rate, the only thing I clearly remember is that I couldn't stop crying. I feel sorry for Eve. She's seen some scary stuff too. She may not be showing it, but I bet it's painful for her to talk about all this. I cannot say I don't sympathize with Miss Belduke. However, the truth is our utmost priority. It must be exposed, even if it may come as a surprise to the witness herself. Huh? You think Miss Belduke isn't aware of the truth? I'm not sure what the professor has in mind, but let's trust him on this one. I'm sure we can unravel this one mystery together. Alrighty, let's do our thing and grasp at straws. I mean, grasp the truth.
Hold it!
I think the spell's just sitting there because she's frozen in, like, trauma. Mr. Cantabella. I remember that very well, as if it happened yesterday. Cantabella. Would you mind telling us what you saw?
Eve! Espella! Are you alright? Eve! What on earth happened here?
It was Bazella! Bazella the witch!
But Bazella? What are you talking about?
Bazella comes out whenever someone rings the bell, right?
What have you done? You didn't...
Oh, please, Mr. Cantabella, don't be angry. Antisbella.
Eve said it with the most serious look on her face. When she said that, I grasped the situation. I realized what had transpired in the belfry, and I thought to myself, I must protect these children. Eve. I'm so sorry, Eve. Espella. Espella, sweetie. Dad, please forgive me. You've done all this for me. Espella, you're with us again. All this for me. Well, well. At last, it appears we are one step away from the truth. Professor, you seem to already know what that truth is. Do I? That remains to be seen. Continue the interrogation. We shall also know soon enough. Very well. The court agrees with Inquisitor Layton. Witness, continue your testimony. As you wish. What am I supposed to do? I think this is where I got stuck. Oh, Eve's up now, so this fella's up, so maybe she has something to say about this?
Hold it! Hold it!
Yeah, because Espella is like cognizant now, so maybe she has something to say. Oop. Go back.
Hold it!
Oh, yep, now Espella has something to say.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Bella. Miss Bella, are you okay? Everything's fine. My apologies for bringing back such troubling memories. Nevertheless, you must endeavor to face them and overcome the power they hold over you. Yes, I remember it now. The fire dragon. I summoned it because I'm a Bezella. No, Bella, it's just illusion. No, you're wrong, Dad. It was an illusion. It was a fact. If I hadn't rung the bell, none of this would have happened. Bezella is the bringer of disaster, and that's what I've done to our town. The accused runs away. Quick, after her. She's running to the bell tower. She's locked herself in. It's no use. We'll have to break down the door to get in. The girl, Oh, I'm not saying that.
Stay away from me.
Nope, there she is. All the way up there. Espella!
Spella, be careful, it's dangerous up there.
Please, Espella, come down.
So sorry, everyone. I have no right to be here anymore. Nick, Espella's gonna do something crazy.
I can see that, but what the heck can I do? Espella, please do not make any hasty decisions.
Mr. Layton.
The truth is close now. Be brave for a little while longer.
The truth? As if it wasn't clear already.
Oh, Tower Lake part of the court? How'd they get up there so quick? Yes. So, this final trial, they set up the courtroom literally right next to the bell tower. So, yes, they're literally right next to it, so they can run up there so fast.
If I hadn't run that bell, everything would have been fine.
You may be mistaken. You still don't know the whole story.
Huh?
Isn't that so, Mr. Wright? I had the same feeling when I was listening to Eve's testimony. I felt something was not right.
Really? I thought that was pretty much it.
The pieces of the puzzle that don't yet fit are themselves the hints to the solution.
No, wait. You mean Espella didn't ring the bell?
What? Nonsense. Of course she did. As it stands, it's hard to say for sure that she didn't ring the bell. However, we got evidence that will clear any doubts.
Show us the so-called evidence you claim to have, then. What do you think proves Espella didn't ring the bell?
Well, where's the device? It's not near her.
Take that!
Espella, can you hear me? Yes?
Where you're standing now is the same spot from where you saw this fire dragon.
Yes, that's right. This fretwork here is the same as what I saw that day. When I look at it now, it seems so small, even adorable. Defense. What does this have to do with anything?
As you will no doubt recall, Mr. Cantabella told us that the people drink the groundwater here suffer from a condition. A condition where they fall unconscious the moment they hear the sound of pure silver. After the bell sounded, you recovered consciousness sooner than Espella. You ran to her side and shook her awake. As soon as she opened her eyes, she saw the fire dragon. In other words, if it was Espella who rang the bell, that would mean the very device for ringing the bell must be very close to the fretwork of the dragon. Espella, can you please check that for me? See if the contraption is located near the dragon fretwork.
Okay, give me a minute. Mr. Wright!
Espella, did you find it?
I don't know if it's the right thing, but there's something on the other side of the belfry. Contraption with a handle. What? On the other side?
That's right. I figured there was something weird when we went up the bell tower, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
No, no way.
You see where I'm going with this, don't you, Miss Belduke? If it was Espella who rang the bell, there's no way she could have seen the fire dragon when she woke up.
No, this can't be right.
Excellent deduction, Mr. Wright. Miss Darklaw. It seems that everything is now clear as day.
What? What do you mean?
Why, of course, I mean the answer to the question of who rang the bell.
It was her. It had to be.
What do you say, Mr. Wright? It looks like we've arrived at the same conclusion. We now know that only one person could have done it. Wait, what good will saying it out loud do? Is there a problem, Mr. Cantabella? It wasn't your daughter who rang that bell. Should that not lift some burden off your shoulders? Are you not curious to know the name of the true culprit, who has pinned the blame on your daughter all this while? How about you stop taunting us? Just say the name already. Who is this true culprit? Let's do it, Professor. Are you ready? I am always ready, Mr. Wright. It's time to set things straight. The person who rang the bell is... someone, because we gotta take a quick break. And also, this is a really good time to, like, build suspense. Aha, hee 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 hoo. And we're back. And you're right. It is Darklaw. Darklaw rung the bell. It's you, Eve Belduke. Me? But there were only the two of you in the belfry at the time. You know that better than anyone. And as it wasn't a speller who rang the bell, it had to be you. That's preposterous. It can't be true. It was an extremely traumatizing event for both you and Espella. Your friend's memories were altered from the shock, without her even realizing it. She believed she was a witch who rang the bell and summoned a dragon, which incinerated the town. However, Miss Belduke, Espella wasn't the only one whose memories were warped by the horrors you two witnessed. You were affected as well.
No. It wasn't me. Espella, she rang the bell. It was her, not me. But why? What are these flashbacks? I've never had these before.
What's the matter? I don't want to do this now. We'll be taken over by Bezella.
Bezella is just a fairy tale. And you're the one who said you wanted to come and ring the bell.
I did, but I changed my mind.
Hey? After coming all this way?
That nightmare was too much for two young girls to take in. Your young minds needed to protect themselves. That's why you subconsciously repressed those memories.
Then, if that's true, for the past 10 years, I've been pinning the blame for what I've done on Espella. It can't be. It can't be true. It's impossible!
Ah!
Darkloss just disappeared.
She's donned the invisibility robe.
And where's the Darklaw? She's run away.
You hear that? She was her that once destroyed this town.
Our lives already messed up so much. We don't need this now.
She gotta pay what she did. Capture her.
Oh, Nick, look at the bell tower. Espella's gone.
No, she's on the roof.
I beg you, don't blame Eve. It really doesn't matter anymore who rang the accursed bell. This town was all created for me. It's my fault you've all been used and suffered so much.
Espella, what are you saying? Please, come down right now. You haven't done anything wrong. It was all my fault.
Dad, I know that you did this for me. You've been so kind to me. And what did I do? I selfishly ran away from home.
Espella.
I will finish your story for you. The evil witch will be gone forever, and everyone will live happily ever after. Dad, thank you for everything you've done for me.
Wait! Don't do it, Espella!
What are you...
Isn't that...
Darklaw? But why, Eve? Why would you? I finally remembered everything I've done.
You're not the only one who remembered. You still have the pendant.
Yes, of course. That's because... somehow I always knew it was important to me.
Espella.
You kept your pendant as well, didn't you, Eve?
For some reason, I just couldn't let it go.
Espella! Miss Darklaw!
Quick, they'll fall if we don't do something.
Let's go. We have to save them.
No, you won't make it there in time.
Why?
The wooden handrail Eve's holding onto is rotted through. We need some sort of magic to save them.
No way!
Magic, you say?
Got an idea, Professor?
If a bit of magic is all that's needed to save these two young ladies, then perhaps that is something I can arrange.
What? You can?
Oh!
You have to let go! Otherwise you'll fall too!
Professor?
What's going on here? Anyone? Professor, you're sorcerer. No, Miss Faye.
We have already established that magic doesn't exist, even in this town. But then, how did he just do that? What you have just seen was the last and greatest illusion within Labyrinthia. Holy shit, magic is real! An illusion? Magic is but an illusion, and this illusion has been produced through the power of suggestion and Labrylum's medication. Everyone in Labyrinthia has been under this particular magic spell. Now then, shall we break the spell? Magic is the last mystery to be solved. You've seen through all my tricks, Layton. I wouldn't have done it without that vital hint you gave me when you spoke in your tower. The final spell is concealed at the start. Okay, so what does that mean? As you know, all the spells are listed within this book. Right, the Grand Grimoire. Now, what did Mr. Cantabella mean by the start? The front cover? Precisely, Mr. Wright. The final spell shall dispel this illusion. The correct incantation is hidden on the front cover itself.
Well then, Mr. Wright. This is the final puzzle. Soon, a new day will begin for the townspeople. Let us put an end to this illusion, once and for all.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money he got paid to say that. 90 Picarets. Hidden on the cover of the Grand Grimoire are the characters that spell out the true magical incantation. Select the characters on the touchscreen and slide them over their counterparts on the tome's cover to make them vanish. The grand finale approaches. Remove the extra magical characters in Grand Grimoire's cover to reveal the hidden incantation.
Let us think about it together. Every puzzle has an answer.
What do you mean I'm 20 points short of 4,000? So can Darklaw and spell be doomed Yuri now? Yeah.
The sun is rising, and when it does, its light will reveal the truth behind Labyrinthia mysteries.
Now, Professor?
Yes. Shall we, Mr. Wright?
Surprise, the whole town is contraptions. No one's known this the entire time.
So this is the real magic behind Labyrinthia.
Excellent work, my boy.
Huh? Hey, it's Luke!
Ta-der. Everyone safe. Nothing bad happened in this land ever. Ever.
Hang on a second. The town's full of machinery?
So much for magic. It was all done with these machines.
That's right. With magic, witches can fly, buildings can disappear. Those are no easy feats to stage. To make all those incredible things real, we needed a great deal of machinery.
Couldn't he have just, I don't know, made the magic a bit simpler?
A witch would say the incantation, and shades would stop time with their silver bells.
And they'd go wild with these machines, making all sorts of crazy stuff happen. That's so cool. I'd love to try it.
I took a quick crash course before operating the machines. Not bad, hey?
Yes, Luke. What would we do without you?
We would be better off because Luke sucks.
So when's my turn? I want to pick something up off the ground and make it fly through the air.
I wish you'd stop looking at me when you say that, Maya.
Well, in any case, I think we should head back to the courthouse.
Right you are, Professor. The judge might have fallen asleep waiting for us.
The premise for this game is so stupid. I hate it.
And has shown us our town's true form. Well, I really don't think there's any need for a verdict anymore. The witches on trial weren't witches after all. I am deeply relieved that those I have sentenced are still alive and well. At last, I can step down from this seat with a clear conscience. And now, the final verdict in the last witches' court session ever to be held.
Not guilty. Yay. I'm very grateful for the help, Professor. The feeling is mutual, Mr. Wright. A gentleman always fights for the truth. I could have not have done otherwise. I'd like to congratulate you two of you. You both did splendidly in the court. Oh, it's the judge. You've brought to light the truth about this town. Although I still find it astonishing that we could not see all of this. Everyone lived happily ever after, except the townspeople. Remember, Sally? They were all criminals on the run from the mob. They probably did. I could not even begin to imagine how it was achieved. You were all given a very simple instruction when you were hypnotized. You cannot see pure black. That was sufficient. Oh no, I see. These strange contraptions are made from sort of black metal. Wait, what happens if a black person's here? Wouldn't they be invisible? Oh no. Oh no. Wait just a second, there are plenty of black jobbers all over Liberty, aren't there? Yeah, that's right. My hair is charcoal black too. But it's not pure black. Oh, okay. That's why. What? What we often perceive as the color black is in fact far from being pure black. Are you saying everything here is painted with Vanta black? Does that artist guy have all the rights to the black paint that's used in this town? Our brains interpret reflections of light as colors. Objects which reflect even the smallest amount of light are not pure black. So it is Vanta black! Pure black is only encountered within nature as darkness. Darkness, sir?
The machines in Labyrinthia are coated in a special material developed by Labyrinth ink. It absorbs light without reflecting any. It is the only material that can be said to be pure black. So it is Phantom Black. Wow. Wow. Oh, I bet this visibility robe was also made out of the same material, right? That's correct. And of course, the bell tower is concealed using the very same material as well. When you think about it, this town abounds in all things invisible.
Huh?
Miss Darklaw, or should I say Miss Belduke?
Yes?
For 10 long years, your memories had been suppressed.
The truth about what occurred in Belfry is invisible to me, you mean?
Mr. Cantabella and your father knew it all along. They knew who actually rang the bell.
What?
Did they really?
Is that true, Cantabella?
As we have demonstrated, it was easy to deduce from the situation in the belfry.
But if you knew that all along, why didn't you say something?
It was, of course, for your own good.
Don't be angry at her!
You were trying to pin the...
You were trying to pin the blame for that disaster on Isabella.
Yes, I was, but if you knew that, why did you keep quiet about it?
If you had only scolded me...
If you only scolded me back then for lying, maybe Isabella wouldn't have suffered such trauma.
It was your eyes, Eve.
What?
Your eyes weren't those of a liar. You believed in what you said. You truly thought it was Isabella. What you saw was too much for you to bear. Your mind blocked out the real memory of what happened in order to maintain your own sanity. Had I called you a liar then, you would have probably suffered a mental breakdown. Mr. Cantabella and your father created this town. You were mistaken to think it was purely for Isabella's sake. It was also for you, Miss Belduke. Remember what your father wrote in his suicide note?
I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
I had an argument with my father once. He was always thinking about only about the town and paid no attention to me.
So you moved out and broke off contact with him. But you were wrong about your father. Not a single day passed without him thinking about you. He helped to make the story I was weaving a reality for your sake.
I've been so ignorant. I was so convinced father was driven to suicide by you.
Your father couldn't bear the sense of guilt he had accumulated over the past 10 years. Even though he killed himself in the end, I believe you're always the most important person to him.
Eve?
Espella! Espella, what I did to you is unforgivable. I rewrote your story, putting you through all this. I can't believe I went to such an extreme because of one wrong assumption.
No, it's okay, Eve. I wasn't angry.
You weren't?
You've always been on my side, protecting me. And even today, you saved my life.
Espella.
I also owe you an apology. After all, I forgot about my dearest friend. I'm so sorry, Eve.
cat.
Ah, there you are, Eve. Where were you?
Your cat's called Eve.
Did she not know this entire time?
You know what I've just noticed? You two are very much alike. You and Eve the cat.
What? It's all in your head.
I'm being compared to a cat. Cat.
It looks like Eve has taken a liking to the other Eve.
You've got that right, and the similarity is really striking.
Oh dear.
The similarity is striking because she wears those weird cat ear things that I've only seen in like Japanese things. I do not know what they are, nor what they are called.
My accidental guests, Professor Layton and Mr. Wright.
Yes?
I must say, I am indebted to you.
Don't mention it.
You know, when I started planning my revenge 3 months ago, Mr. Layton was a part of my plans. I needed to lure him to Labyrinthia.
Why me?
You were famous in London. and
'Cause you're
word
smart.
reached me even here. What's more, you specialize in mysteries. So I thought that if you came to this town, you'd feel compelled to solve ours.
Well, I am honored.
That's cool. And what about me?
Ah, well, about you. How should I put it? Your arrival here was purely accidental.
You mean it wasn't planned?
As you know, Espella escaped and got involved in that incident on the freighter. As a consequence, I had no choice but to bring you here.
I see. I shouldn't have asked. My fragile pride has suffered yet another blow.
Nick, you can't escape your fate. You're doomed to
Poor
always be in
Nick.
trouble
He's
if it
just
doesn't
here
find you
because
first.
accident. That's it.
How about some words of sympathy for a change?
Layton's here because he's smart, but Nick's here because just because he was there.
Terribly sorry. The only thing on my mind the last 3 months was revenge.
Whatever your intentions were, the last witch trial has ended in the best possible way for this town. You were correct in your judgment. You always are.
You're too kind to me.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Eve, for opening my eyes.
Sorry to break up this little happy ending, but I've sort of got an important question. Why were you going to end the story?
Only Newton knew the real reason. I am suffering from an incurable illness.
What?
He got ligma.
Dad, you're ill. Is it serious?
It is a rare disease with no known cure.
Why didn't you tell me? Had I known...
I wanted this to be my secret. I suppose that was a bad decision on my part.
He's got the RFK Jr. disease where he has gravelly throat all the time.
I thought I'd finish the story before I died and lay the foundations for a new world. Honestly, I was desperate. I didn't much care about Labyrinthia anymore.
Dad, why did it have to happen?
Spasmodic dysphonia?
Especially now that we're finally
I don't know.
together.
I feel like RFK Jr. disease is more prevalent because of how trashy RFK Jr. is.
Cheer up, Espella.
How can I?
Labrellum's new drug development center contacted me a short while ago. They have succeeded in creating a new medicine, thanks to Belduke's research. It's a top-secret wonder drug for my illness.
A wonder drug?
Newton had been working on finding a cure for my illness until the very end. It would seem that the cure was his final gift to me.
My father.
Newton was the truest friend I ever had. I'm going to undergo surgery. Do not fear, I shall return. So stop making that sad face, Espella.
Dad, will everything be back to how it once was?
Of course it will.
And Eve, will you still be my friend?
Of course.
Thank you.
Wow, happy ending after all. Eve absolutely did not try to kill everybody in town. Just for the hell of it. I'm gonna drop by Miss Sinclair's bakery. I've got so much to tell her. Do you mind if I go, Dad? It won't take long. Of course not. Please do. Looks like Eve wants to come too. What? Oh, you meant the cat. Espella, mind if we tag along? Not at all. You're welcome to come. Awesome. Maybe we'll get some tasty baked bread out of this. I thought we were going there for a different reason. Well, anyway, I'll be off then, Professor. Pass on my regards, Miss Sinclair, Luke. Congratulations. You've done it. You beat the game. Hooray. Oh, they're still talking. Never mind. You lost the game. What's gonna happen to the town? I've released everyone from hypnosis. They will soon recover the memories of their lives before Labyrinthia. As of today, Project Labyrinthia is over. I see. They are free to leave if they so wish. I imagine they will make a run for it, as this place doesn't have running water or power. This place will turn into inhabited ruins, just like it was 10 years ago.
I have some doubts about that.
Your Honor!
I now understand that this town is an artificial creation of yours. Nonetheless, to us Labyrinthians, the past 10 years were real.
No one can yet tell how this town will change. However, it is possible that some people will want to stay. Who knows? Perhaps you will find yourself creating a new town along with them.
new town, you say?
I am no longer the judge, but, if possible, I would like to remain here.
You have my gratitude, Your Honor.
You need not address me as Your Honor anymore, Sir Storyteller.
And so, the last witch trial has drawn to a close.
What did Mr. Wright, Mr. Layton, and my father talk about? That I do not know.
Drugs, probably.
But Dad made a promise to me. Once everyone recovers their memories and he is cured of his illness, he will return to write a new story with everyone's help.
And we're all gonna get them high and wasted on new drug.
The story will be real without any lies or illusions.
Oh, what about drug? Why isn't drug fun? Why isn't everyone dying?
What a beautiful sound.
Almost as if it's ringing in a new beginning for the
Why
town.
isn't everybody dying? It's pure silver. They did not drink the water for like a day. Is that why they're fine?
Okay then. Whenever you are ready, Mr. Barnum. Mm-hmm.
Dog. Remember what your friend Snake said. Do drug, get cool forever.
Thank you! Thank you all so much for everything!
Espella, you take care now.
You too, Mr. Cantabella. Bye!
They couldn't have said that while they were at the dock.
Be sure to visit us again!
You can bet on it!
I wish all of you the very best.
Barnum kind of looks like a slut. Yeah.
Mr. Wright, I knew I could count on you to stand your ground and fight me to the very end.
Me too. I always believed in you, Professor.
How does your
But I
hat
know
stay
it's
on,
how you
Professor?
choose to get to the mysterious truth behind this town.
When we get back to England, we'll drop by and see you, Luke.
Great! I'll show you around London.
Well, that's the story. But yes, Barnum kind of does look like a slut now. Also, they avoid the Yuri to make Barnum and Darklaw date. It's stupid. Phoenix had a chance to reform his entire country's legal system and used nothing he learned from the witch trials. Look, there's Jean. We love Jean. Even though she kind of killed a dead person. When did they get glow sticks? Kinda wish this game was longer and shorter. It is technically longer. There's the bonus stuff. But yeah, I do think they glow stick because the town is real now. It is a little bit shorter than you think it is. It could be shorter if they just cut out some of the unnecessary dialogue, like all the empty spaces of ellipses.
You know, Professor, I feel like I've just finished reading a really long story.
Indeed, Luke. I know what you mean. It certainly was an enthralling adventure.
I wonder how Espella and the others back in Labyrinthia are getting on.
They're dead.
Go back and see them. Although, I'd rather not have to be sucked into a book to get there.
Perhaps we should ask Carmine to come along with us.
Carmine is still alive? Oh no.
From all of his injuries. But he was a bit put out when he found out you'd already solved all the town's secrets, Professor.
Well, we mustn't forget that we didn't solve them all by ourselves. We couldn't have done it without the help of our friends across the Atlantic.
Also, the half dozen times the player reads something and the characters say the same stuff to each other.
In a courtroom somewhere?
I'd wager they may well be, Luke. At any rate, we must make our own preparations. There's a brand new case that requires our attention, and that means a brand new set of puzzles to be solved, my boy.
Hold it! What's the matter, Wright? Has the cat got your tongue?
Torley Edgeworth.
Or are you still in a holiday kind of mood? Perhaps your mind is as clouded as the English sky.
Any hints, Maya?
Not really. If only the professor were here. I think at this point you've got to use that patented spell of yours, Nick.
Patented spell?
Hello, Earth to Nick. Just when we think it's all over, you always use it to turn the tables.
Ah, got it. I just have to close my eyes and say the magic word. Luckily, I don't need a witch's scepter for this one.
Save the chit-chat for later, right? I've almost missed that utterly annoying spell of yours. Fine, let's hear it then.
Just take a deep breath and give it all you've got.
Well, here goes. Objection!
I think I missed a puzzle somewhere. I think there's 4,000 Pickerats and I'm missing 20? It's fine. Edgeworth was being so gay for Phoenix? Yeah. There's one puzzle I missed?
Where? Never let you go back to the library. It did. It let me talk with Miss Mystere right before we got to the tower. So this ending credit song is real good. Wogue. I want to finish that last puzzle. If there's one. If there isn't one, then I'll cry. Also, this bastard was writing the story with a quill when he could have just used a pen. No one was watching him write the stories. Do I have to restart it? Okay. Make a save state just in case. Restart. Didn't save. Didn't save. Go back. Oh, I just didn't wait long enough. Got it. He's like, this town not have any water. Like, bro, why not? It did have running water at the top of the tower. Okay, now that it's 20 points short of 5,000, it makes me feel like I'm still missing 20 points. You just cleared the game. Thanks. You mean I make a special game clear save data file? There we go. What is the extra content? If you have all the pickerets, it turns into a gold phoenix in Layton. Oh, hold on. How do I get the rest of the straw off? Alright. No. I don't care. Okay. Which puzzle did I miss? Puzzle 58. Ruined sealed way. No. Gift snack puzzles. It's right here. Where is it? There it is. Fucking bitch hiding a puzzle from me. Let's see. Enormous monsters after Luke. Oh, no, not after Luke. Cannot tread the same path twice.
Let's see. Doop. 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 Oh, that can't be it. Doop. Doop. No. Doop. 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 No. No. Doop. 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 No. Burp, 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 burp. There. Also, we apparently really hate Salamander.
This is my answer. Oh, let me do the next one too.
There we go, 5,000, hooray! We did it, hooray! Now it's gold because I have all the coins. Ha hee. So I don't know how I would do the special bonus ones. That is a question. Like I've done this before on my own device, but it looks like I can't do it on emulator, which is fine. The problems of having emulation.